Yo, what's up guys, it's ApTreX here. In today's video, we'll be testing out the Citron Nintendo Switch emulator on my low-end Mali GPU Android device with only 6GB of RAM, out of which only 1.7GB is actually available. So the device which I have right here is my Redmi K50i, which comes with Dimensity 8100. With that being said, let's start setting up the latest version of Citron emulator right away. Now there have been few controversies which have been going around with the Citron emulator, and currently I am using the version 0.6.1. So we'll just go ahead and tap on get started, and as usual import all the necessary stuff that is required to run a Nintendo Switch emulator. And there we go, the setup is complete. Let's tap on continue, and right here are the 3 games which I'll be testing out in today's video: Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, as well as One Piece Unlimited World Red Deluxe Edition. Now in today's video I'll be showing you guys the best settings as well for Mali GPU Android devices so that you get best performance, best compatibility and stability. To get started, let's go to settings, afterwards go to advanced settings, and here go to system. You'll need to set the limit speed percentage to 400%, afterwards go back, go to graphics, resolution make sure to set it to 0.5x. This is very important, keep the lowest amount of resolution possible even if you have a flagship MediaTek processor Android device. In terms of VSync, make sure to set it to mailbox, afterwards aspect ratio stretch to window, scroll down and enable these 2 options. Afterwards go back, in debug make sure that the CPU backend is native code execution and API is Vulkan. And that's about it in terms of best settings. Now you won't be able to add any custom graphics driver inside the Citron emulator's 0.6.1 version on Mali GPU. Previously it used to allow you to import custom graphics driver on Mali GPU, and we saw one graphics driver which worked really well. And in terms of applet launcher, you will be able to see it actually boots. So here you will be able to see even the applet launcher features are working because we have imported our firmware. So on Mali GPU Android device, this is actually a good news. It means Citron emulator actually works. So what about the games? Let's start testing them out right away. The first game that I'll be trying out is going to be One Piece Unlimited World Red Deluxe Edition, and at the top left corner you will be able to see the FPS bar. It also says NC/Mali, which means Mali GPU is natively being used. I want to see the FPS very badly because Mali GPU Android devices are very strong in terms of processing power. They are completely worth the money if you want to run native Android games. But what about emulation, right? Emulation is very bad on Mali GPU Android devices, especially Windows emulation and even Switch emulation in some cases. But here at the top left corner you will be able to see I am getting almost 130 plus FPS while emulating One Piece. So I'll just go ahead and skip through all the cutscene and directly jump right into the game because I want to see in this 3D open world game how much FPS can we actually get. If this game runs well, then we know that even if you have a mid-range to low-end MediaTek or Mali GPU Android device, it should be good to go. And surprisingly enough, just take a look at this, we are getting more than 60 FPS while emulating One Piece Unlimited World Red Deluxe Edition on our Android device. So this is actually pretty amazing stuff, to be honest. I did not expect this level of performance from my Mali GPU Android device, which means you can indeed emulate some Nintendo Switch games inside the Citron emulator Android even if you have a Mali GPU. With that being said, let's just go ahead and close this game and move on towards our next game, which is going to be Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I want to test out this game very badly because last time I remember I used to get around 8 to 10 FPS while emulating this game on the same Android device. I want to see how much more FPS can we get in Citron emulator. It is actually the best Nintendo Switch emulator for Android devices. We'll just go ahead and go to controls, select player 1, enable it and set it as handheld so that our on-screen touch controls actually work in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. So there we go, our game is about to begin, and I'll actually import a save file instead to save our time. Now that the save file has been added, as you guys can see, Let's Go Pikachu has successfully started with almost 60 FPS at the top left corner. So here we'll just go ahead and press the A button to continue and tap on continue our adventure. The FPS is actually pretty amazing. This is unexpected, by the way. Let me just go ahead and put my Arcanine inside its Pokeball. Now I'll be able to actually control the character, and you'll be able to see at the top left corner, remember what I said, in the other emulators like Sudachi etc., I used to get 8 to 10 FPS inside Let's Go Pikachu, and in Citron emulator you will be able to see at the top left corner I am getting 12 to 16 to even 27 FPS. Like some places there is lot of lagging issues, and I think that might be because of shader compilation. But if we just go ahead and stop, you will be able to see the places where the shaders are already compiled, it doesn't lag that much. Now Let's Go Pikachu is one of the worst optimized games out there that you can play inside the forks of Yuzu. Even on flagship Android devices you hardly get 30 FPS, but you will be able to see on my Mali GPU Android device we are getting almost more than 10 FPS, which is playable, but once again this is Dimensity 8100. If you have like Dimensity 920, 820 etc., obviously you won't get such an amazing playable experience, even though this is not amazing or playable. With that being said, let's just go ahead and move on towards the next game, which is a bit more optimized than Let's Go Pikachu. It is going to be Pokemon Sword. I believe that if this game boots, then it will run with more FPS than what we just saw. So hopefully it boots. Well, no, it crashed. Let me try reopening it. Now this crashing issue might be because of insufficient RAM, because you guys already know there are tons of Nintendo Switch emulators which are capable of emulating Pokemon Sword even on Mali GPU Android devices. But unfortunately, as you will be able to see when you open this game, it is simply stuck or crashes. Now there are two reasons for this. The first reason being is that this is a high-end Nintendo Switch game. These two were not high-end. Even though the graphics are amazing, obviously, though they were not high-end, this is a AAA Nintendo Switch title, so unfortunately it does not work, and that's the limitation of Citron Emulator Android. It is not that optimized for Mali GPU Android devices. You won't be able to emulate every single Nintendo Switch game on your Mali GPU device, especially the high-end ones. But that doesn't mean that low-end games will not work. Games like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, Bleach, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, or even One Piece Unlimited World Red Deluxe Edition, Let's Go Pikachu, Super Mario, etc. will work inside this emulator on your Mali GPU devices. So that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below which emulator should I test out next on my Mali GPU device. I'll see you guys next time though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.